Hey everybody, at the movies with Film. Film Brown here. Got some beautiful plants down here. Makes me feel very much at home. I know it's dark and dank down here. All I can get are these artificial things. You know, I got an artificial plant over there, I'm thinking. Got an artificial thing over here as well. And I got my plant right here, sort of a death lily, I guess. Been enjoying the emails that I've been getting from people. I really like the response that I am getting. Again, that email is attached to the head and the tail of our little presentations here. Give me a read. Give me a feel of the different kinds of things that, you might know something about these films that I don't know. I don't know all this stuff, okay? I don't know everything about, particularly this film that we're going to be talking about today. I don't know a lot about this film. I remember seeing it when it came out. Fantastic Planet. It's a cartoon. Well, maybe we'll call it a piece of animation. It's a feature-length cartoon made by a guy named René Laloux in 1973. Now, I remember seeing it at the old Eastgate Theaters down in Des Moines. Back right when it about came out. The film won the Cannes Film Festival also of that year. Not the major prize, but it won a special award. Roger Corman saw that, swept it up, and released it here in the United States with a Barry Bostwick narration. He's the voice that you hear in this film. This is a Czech-French production. And it really has a very Jonathan Swift type of feel. Gulliver's Travels. And the whole business here is about a planet that is inhabited by these, well, large 36-foot type of characters who have on this planet with them this subspecies, they consider it a subspecies anyway, a very small people. They call them the Oms. Okay, these little small creatures. And they really have delegated these little creatures to be like pets. Okay, and they spend a lot of time just sort of preening them like a little animal. Now, what so happens is one of these little pets accidentally gets himself educated. You know, how can you keep them down on the farm when they get a little education? And this one Om called Tear, what a great name, gets educated accidentally through his keeper, who is this little girl, and becomes smart. And he rebels. And he runs away from the big tall guys, and he runs into a group of other Oms who are rather primitive, caveman, Neanderthalish type, and he teaches them. And they all learn, and they rebel against the big guys. And they strike out for human rights. Sounds very familiar. Matter of fact, this film has a little bit of political history behind it. It was started in Czechoslovakia and had to be finished in France, as far as I can see, from my reading of it. Remember 1968 was a big invasion, right? The Soviet Union came into Czechoslovakia to kind of shut down that communism with a smile that you found also in Yugoslavia. Things were getting a little too liberal there for the Soviets, and they kind of quashed it. Well, the allegory, which is not so subtle that you find also in this film, is this idea of a small group of people who have to resist the big thumb or the big fist or the big sickle or the hammer and sickle of the Soviet Union. This film reminds me of other films that deal with this idea of the underling rising up to create a resistance. You remember a film called Conquest of the Planet of the Apes? Came out in 1972. It's one of the in the series of the Planet of the Apes series. That one there, remember, is that all the dogs and cats in the world have died, and what's left are monkeys to be trained to be servants and pets. And remember, one of the characters has the ability to reason, and he teaches all the other monkeys to rebel, and it ends with that great prison, Attica-like prison revolt. Be interested if you could think of other films that deal with the idea of underlings rising up to overthrow the masters. Zardoz sort of comes to mind for me. There are many others. Maybe you could help me out. Shoot me an email. What you think? Maybe all the others. Obviously, there are tons. This is sort of a major template that films are built out of. The underdog rises up to rebel and, well, either succeeds or doesn't succeed. Fantastic Planet. Beautiful film. Kind of looks like things out of Yellow Submarine, if you remember that film. With a political edge. Kind of psychedelic. Have fun. Email me. Email me. Come on, email me. Roll 'em, Smokey.